small and medium enterprise accessing public procurement አሁን ያለው ሁኔታ ምን ይመስላል? አዋጅ አለን። አዋጁ ደንቡ እንዴት ፍሌክሲብል ነው? ለሴቶቹ አመቺ ነው ወይ? ሴቶችስ የተሳተፉ ነው ወይ የሚለው ኤቪደንስ ቤዝድ የሆነ ሪሰርች ባይኖረንም ታንክስ ቱ ኦክስፋም ፕሬስ ሪሊዙ ላይም ለመጥቀስ ሞክረናል። ሎካል ኮንሰልታንት ቀጥረውልን የኢምፕሊሜንቴሽን ስትራቴጂ ዶክመንት ተዘጋጅቷልና ትንሽ የፖሊሲ ፔፐርም ተዘጋጅቷል። ያን በተመለከተ እንግዲህ ኤቪደንስ ቤዝድ የሆነ ሪሰርች እስክናሰራ ድረስ ባሉን መረጃዎች ግን ካምፔኑን መቀጠል ስለሚኖርብን ለዚህ ነው ዛሬ ይሄንን የውይይት መድረክ አምባሳደሮቻችን በተገኙበት የሚዲያ ቲም በተገኘበት ማድረግ የፈለግነው።
Women businesses and SMEs and informal sectors and others is not a standalone thing. It pervades all sectors of the economy. It pervades all policies and regulations that were already put in place. The institutions that we built to support and provide assistance to them, including banks, not only NatBank, Development Bank of Ethiopia, not only at this chamber, but there are so many other collaborative efforts. So underpinning the causation of this issue could really be important, but it might take us off our focus. So if we are going to deal with women, SMEs, as regards to procurement, we have to reframe our strategy. We have to really take it back, because this is the art of influencing policies and regulations, and that needs focus with designed, dedicated, well elaborated kind of KPI. So these are things that I can assist on this. The other important thing is this group of ambassadors and Cawee, we are just the beginners of the journey. So let's take it in a time frame. It's not something to be dealt with and handed over as a final conclusive thing. So no, it should really be taken as a journey with a lot of collaborative efforts, building coalitions, alliances, networks and other things, and that should be taken into account. So these are the three things that I like to emphasize: collaboration, take it as a journey, and also that it is being fed, nourished, and reached the stage where it is now because of a lot of other contributory factors. Thank you.
Definitely somebody has to take a risk. Business itself is a risk. Without taking a risk, most of us, what we think is we want certainty to happen, but we don't want to take a risk of investing in it. Unless you invest in it and take a risk, you can't see whether it works or not. So I think how should it happen is by investing on this whole process. And also the awareness issue that we have been talking about. It's not only working on women, it's only working on men as well. Try to give them the opportunity to come in the forefront and make use of the opportunity that is created by either government policy or even by the current environment that is out. So the women need to be at a level to produce and supply commodities that are needed, of quality, of the volume and related to that. How does that happen? By really helping the SMEs and the women entrepreneurship to develop their horizon and develop their skills, engage them as much as possible with various other sectors within the private sector or even within government, so that they can position themselves to be credible enough to utilize whatever percentage that has been given.
Social enterprise create 3 times more job than the mainstream social entrepreneurship. So how can we end up in a sort of the social enterprise Ethiopia with this project to a win-win, so that we can create a very lucrative awareness. So that the government may, in the previous days, the government is trying to look us as if that we are competing with the government. We are not. In my personal journey, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to really give a lot of your brain for competition. Rather, we need to collaborate. So if you collaborate, we will create awareness. Then when the government get aware of what we are trying to do, then they understand that we are helping the government. I usually say that having a legislation is not a solution, unless and otherwise you really work on the agenda furthermore, even after getting that legislation. So this is very difficult. A number of, whenever I talk about public procurement, something that gets me frustrated is corruption. Like, everybody, there is money, everybody's on it. So that there is a number of people involved in this, $350 billion per. So that it may be, something that we need to be very curious about. It is doable, 100%. And it is something that will really help the country, not only the woman. Whenever I talk about women, I'm talking about the country, I'm talking about the entire population. Without women, this is not something that you really talk about it and not implementing in your life. Like, without having 50% women, it will be very difficult for a country to be a country. So that, in my opinion, this is something doable, but it needs a strategy, action plan, when to do it, when to end up. So that as an ambassador of this journey, I want to have a specific time in which I am actively involved and having a target. We can't finish everything by only advocating. As the doctor said earlier, it is very important, everybody is waiting for you. Then they talk about it, nothing happens. So we need to have a very pragmatic strategy to accomplish. We don't finish everything, so that we will hand over for the next ambassadors probably. But with this agenda, we have done this and we need to do the next portion of it.
I know it is very difficult, but it is doable.